Well, hi, everybody, and a good evening to you from the Metrodome. Game number 6 of the 1991 World Series. The Atlanta Braves, who won all 3 games at Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta, now leading 3-2. The Twins, with their backs to the wall, will send Scott Erickson to the mound against lefty Steve Avery. They were the opponents in game number 3, and neither one had a decision in that one. Scott Erickson, accompanied by pitching coach Dick Such and catcher Junior Ortiz, have come in from the bullpen. The umpires have the lineup cards at home plate, and in a few moments we'll be underway in game number 6. Steve Avery, the 21-year-old left-hander who won 18 and lost 8 during the regular season for the Braves, pitched 2 outstanding games against the Pirates in the NLCS, and the Twins take the field. And Scott Erickson, who opposed Avery in game number 3 in Atlanta. Scotty left in the 5th inning of that game. Neither Avery nor Erickson had a decision. So now Scotty warming up with Junior Ortiz, and with the starting lineups and the batting orders. Here's John.
Leading off for the Braves as the designated hitter, Lonnie Smith. Batting second at third base, Terry Pendleton. Batting third in center field, Ron Gant. Batting fourth in right field, Dave Justice. Batting fifth, first baseman Sid Bream. Batting sixth, the left fielder Brian Hunter. Batting seventh and catching will be Greg Olson. Batting eighth will be the second baseman Mark Lemke. And batting ninth will be the shortstop Rafael Belliard. Bobby Cox's batting order against Twins right-hander Scott Erickson, Smith, Pendleton, and Gant, Justice, Bream, and Hunter, Olson, Lemke, and Belliard. Now for the Twins, leading off in left field, Dan Gladden. Batting second at second base, Chuck Knobloch. Batting third in center field, Kirby Puckett. Batting fourth will be the designated hitter, Chili Davis. Batting fifth will be the right fielder, Shane Mack. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Scotty Leyes. Batting seventh at first base, Ken Herbeck. Batting eighth and catching, Junior Ortiz. And batting ninth and playing at shortstop will be Greg Gagne. Twins batting order, as presented by manager Tom Kelly, to the umpiring crew against left-hander Avery, Gladden, Knobloch, and Puckett, Davis, Mack, and Leyes, Herbeck, Ortiz, and Gagne. The umpires from the National League behind the plate, Ed Montague. At first base from the American League, Don Denkinger. At third base from the American League, Drew Coble. At second base from the National League, Harry Wendelstedt. Here we go, Erickson to Smith, and here's the voice of the Twins, Herb Carneal.
First pitch inside, ball 1. Swing and a foul ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Lonnie Smith, who has hit 3 home runs each of the last 3 games. 4 hits and 19 at-bats and 3 home runs. 1 ball and 1 strike to the right-handed batter. Scott Erickson delivers. Look out, up over his head. Ball 2 and strike 1. That one just got away from Scott. He was a high slider. Temperature-wise, 47. 4-7 outside, 70, 7-0 inside the dome. Scott Erickson's pitch. Swinging a ground ball to third. Backhanded by Leyes. Knocks it down, picks it up, off balance. Throw in time. Got him anyway. A ground ball that was backhanded by Leyes. He knocked it down, picked it up, made an off-balance throw, and still able to get Lonnie Smith by less than a step. Now Terry Pendleton, number 5, the third baseman. 6 for 20 in the series, hitting .300. 6 for 18 left-handed with 1 home run. Again, the temperature's 4-7 outside, 7-0 inside. We're underway at 27 minutes. Past the hour. Here's the windup by number 19, Scott Erickson. In comes the pitch, and it's a strike. Now the windup and the pitch. Sinker low. 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a ground ball in the hole. Right field, a base hit for Pendleton. Knocked it between Knobloch and Herbeck. Of course, we've seen the first 2 batters do what Scott Erickson wants them to do, and that's hit the ball on the ground. This time, Pendleton just finds a gap on the right side of the infield. And it brings up number 5, Ron Gant, who is 8 for 21. He has a triple, 7 singles, and 3 runs batted in. Ron Gant, who led the team in home runs during the regular season, hit 32 last year, 34 this year, and takes outside, ball 1. Pitching against the Braves in Atlanta in Game 3, Erickson went 4 2/3 innings. Allowed 4 runs, 3 were earned, 5 hits. He walked 2 and struck out 3. And the pitch. It's a strike. 1-1. His one outing in the American League Championship Series against Toronto, he did not have good command of his stuff. In 4 innings against the Blue Jays, he gave up 3 runs, 2 earned, but he walked 5 and struck out 2. Gave up a home run to Joe Carter in that game. Gant was 0 for 3 against Scotty in Atlanta. It's a ground ball, just foul outside of third. 1-2. Scott Erickson started the season, lost his first 2 games, really tough ones when the Twins failed to score either time. Then he won 12 in a row. Was beaten by the White Sox shortly thereafter, went on the DL. Did not pitch as effectively the second half of the season. After going 12-2 the first half, he was 8-6 the second half. He has Gant in the hole here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pendleton on first, 1 out, and Erickson's pitch low with a sinker. 2-2. Tom Kelly and Dick Such did not feel that Scotty was throwing too well in the game in Atlanta. His fastball only in the low 80 range, whereas early in the season it had been probably 10 miles an hour faster than that. But movement, of course, is the key with his pitches. Here's a slider hit on the ground, foul outside of third again. That holds it 2-2 to Ron Gant. Junior Ortiz behind the plate. Scott Elias at third, Greg Gagne at short, Chuck Knobloch at second, and Kent Herbeck at first. Dan Gladden, Kirby Puckett, and Shane Mack in the outfield. And they're playing Gant to pull the ball. Gant with 105 runs batted in and 32 homers. And the pitch. Swing a little number slowly down the first base line. Herbeck picks it up. He will tag Gant out. Pendleton to second. A little squiver down to Herbeck, who makes the put out himself. It'll bring up Dave Justice, the right fielder. Justice homered off Erickson in game number 3 in Atlanta. It was 1 for 3. Jimmy Williams, the coach, at third. Pat Corrales at first for manager Bobby Cox. No score in the top of the first inning. Pendleton on second and 2 out for the Braves. Outfield with Shea Justice to the right. Erickson sets and throws, and it's a strike on the inside corner to the left-handed batting Dave Justice. 6 hits and 20 at-bats in the series with 2 home runs. 21 home runs in the regular season, although he played only 109 games after a back injury. Here's the pitch. Slider down and in. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Herb, that was kind of interesting on that little touch that Herbeck gave Gant there. The last time the two were as close together was when Herbeck kind of pushed him off first base in what really was the most controversial play of the World Series, which occurred, of course, back here last weekend.
Just a gentle touch that time, though.
Yes.
The pitch is outside the ball. 2-1 to Justice. There's the set by Scott Erickson with the outfield deep, slightly right. Justice hits a grounder foul down past Coach Corrales at first base. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2 to Dave Justice. Erickson taking a sign from Ortiz. Time requested by Dave Justice. He steps out. The national anthem sung before we came on the air tonight by Melissa Manchester. Former Twins great Tony Oliva. Now coach who at the ceremonial first pitch, Tony Oliva. Pitch here to Justice. Low with a breaking ball. In the dirt, and Montague, the plate umpire, having a look at it at the request of Dave Justice as the ball broke in the dirt. And a full count, 3-2. Also the crowd entertained here tonight before the game by the Rosemount, Minnesota High School Band. 0-0, top of the first. Terry Pendleton leading at second with 2 out, 3-2. The count to Dave Justice, the pitch. Outside he walked him. So the Braves have runners on first and second with 2 out. It'll bring up Sid Bream, number 12, the left-handed batting first baseman. 1 for 2 against Scotty in game number 3. For the series, Bream is 2 for 16. Both doubles, one of those a squib over third base. 6'4" first baseman Sid Bream. Now runners on first and second, 2 out, and Erickson's pitch is a strike. Nothing in 1. Play Bream more straight away. Here is the set by Erickson and the pitch. Change up, had him swinging. Good change up that time by Scott Erickson. Kept it down and away. Good location. And he has a count of 0-2 to Bream. As we mentioned before, Bream knee surgery earlier in the year. Played in only 91 games during the season. Had 11 homers. 0-2 the count. Scott Erickson to the set. Here's the pitch. Another change fouled away. Count remains 0-2 to Bream. Signed as a free agent last winter by the Braves after spending time with the Dodgers and more recently with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Here's the set by Erickson, the pitch. Outside with a fastball, 1-2. Sid Bream, who has been in pro ball since 1981, came up with the Dodgers originally in '83 and traded to Pittsburgh in 1985. 6'4", 220. Here's the pitch. Change outside low. On a 2-2 count. Bream, who crowds the plate. Here's the set by Erickson and the pitch. Low and inside. So Scotty, after getting ahead of Bream 0-2, now has run the string out. And the runners will go. Pendleton from second and Justice from first with 2 out. Chuck Knobloch playing a very deep second base. Erickson out of the set. Here's the right-hander's pitch. Bream hits a fly ball down the left field line. Gladden chasing it in the corner. Gladden is there, makes the catch. In the left field corner to retire the side. No runs. 1 hit, 2 left. Half an inning. Atlanta nothing. The Twins nothing.
Well, Scott Erickson survives an Atlanta threat in the top half of the first inning. Dan Gladden got a good break on that ball that was hit deep into the left field corner. And Sid Bream is out, and so are the Braves. Here's Gladden now to face Avery.
Takes a fastball strike, 0-1. Dan Gladden 4 for 21 in the series. 2 of his hits have been triples. Number 33, 21-year-old Steve Avery. Won't have a birthday until next April the 14th when he'll be 22. after the start of the regular season next year. 18-8 during the season. 2 shutout wins over Pittsburgh in the playoffs. And Gladden, the bouncing ball here to Belliard. He's got it. Throws it on to Bream for the out. Gladden rolls out, short to first. One away. It'll bring up Chuck Knobloch. 6 for 17 in the series. A double, 2 RBIs, and he has 4 stolen bases. Now the windup by Avery on the pitch. Fastball low outside, ball 1. In game 3 in Atlanta, Avery pitched to 1 batter in the 8th inning and left. He gave up 3 runs, 2 earned, only 4 hits, no walks, and 5 strikeouts. And the left-hander's pitch to Knobloch. Strike on a fastball over. 1 ball and 1 strike. In the NLCS, he pitched 16 in the 3rd innings against the Pirates without allowing a run and only 9 hits. Walked just 4, struck out 17 and 16 in the 3rd innings against Pittsburgh. There's a curve in the dirt. 2-1. Did not walk a batter against the Twins in the 7 innings he pitched with 5 strikeouts. So in postseason play, now totaling 23 2/3 innings, he has walked only 4 and struck out 22 and allowed only 2 earned runs, both by the Twins. The Braves felt that Avery started to lose something off his fastball in the 7th inning. They wanted him to pitch the 8th if possible, but took him out after 1 batter. And here's Knobloch with a hit to right field. Chuck Knobloch, along with the Braves second baseman Mark Lemke, they have had outstanding series with the bat. Chuck with a line single to right field there off Avery's fastball, and Kirby Puckett coming up. Kirby went 1 for 3 against Avery, and that was a home run.
I don't know if the Twins got away with something there or not, but that's a pitch that the Twins are supposed to lay off of against Avery, the high fastball. But Knobloch got enough on it and hit it very hard into right field. It's a pitch that the Twins chased against Avery in the first 6 innings in Atlanta, and they didn't do very much with it.
Now the set and the pitch to Puckett. Low, ball 1. Overall, Kirby just 3 hits and 18 at-bats with the home run. And of course was the MVP in the American League Championship Series when he had 9 hits and 20 at-bats. No score last half of the first inning. Steve Avery taking the sign from Greg Olson. Knobloch with the lead. Bream holding with him. Here's the pitch, and Kirby swings at the ground ball over third down the left field line. It's going to roll into the corner. Knobloch may score. Gardenhire is going to wave him in as the left fielder Hunter picks up the ball. Puckett's going to third with a triple. 1-0 Twins. Avery's fastball just over the knees. Kirby with a ground ball down the left field line. A 3-base hit and a run batted in. The Twins lead 1-0, and Chili Davis coming up. Chili 3 for 10 with 2 homers, each with a man on. Braves are going to pull the infield in here in the first inning with the Twins leading 1-0. Puckett on third and 1 out. Outfield shaded to the left on Chili Davis. Here's the set by Avery, and the pitch low inside. Ball 1. The Braves with Pendleton at third, Belliard at short, Lemke at second, Bream at first, Hunter, Gant, Justice in the outfield, and Greg Olson behind the plate. Wayne Terwilliger coaching at first base, Ron Gardenhire at third. Avery working out of a set with a man on third base, delivers to Davis, and it's low, ball 2. Shane Mack on deck. 1-0 Twins, last of the first inning. Here's the set by Avery. His pitch. Chile takes a strike on the inside corner over the knees, and it's 2-1. Chile did not start the game in Atlanta against Steve Avery, of course, because he could not use the DH, and he didn't start that game. Here's the set, and the pitch on the way. Swinging a high fly ball down the right field line, drifting towards foul territory, and it'll be out of play. Justice running after. It was a high fly ball landing well down past the bullpen in the right field corner, but Justice, who was shading over to the right, he just had a long run, couldn't get there. Ball 2 and strike 2 to Chili Davis. Avery looking to Olson for the sign. Puckett leading at third. Here is the set and the 2-2 pitch. A high fastball, 3-2. And Steve Avery trying to hump up and get something extra on that fastball. Overthrew it, got it up high, and he has run the string out on Chili Davis. Avery usually excellent control, especially considering that he's only 21 years old. Walked only 65 batters in 210 innings during the regular season. Now the set. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on, a fly ball hit the right field. Justice is coming in. It's not too deep. Justice makes the catch. Puckett won't try to score. Davis with a little looper into right field. Justice grabbing it on the run in. No chance really for Kirby to try to tag up there. 2 down. It'll bring up Shane Mack, looking for his first hit in the series. He's 0 for 15 and was 0 for 3 against Avery. Avery walking out behind the pitching mound as Shane Mack steps in. Tom Kelly hoping that an extra day of rest, as he of course did not play Shane in the game Thursday night in Atlanta, will get him back on track. Shane had an excellent season for the Twins, of course. Takes a high fastball, ball 1. Hit .310 during the regular season. With 18 home runs, drove in 74 runs. They play him just a little bit to the right. And Avery into the windup now, the infield back, and a strike. 1-1. I was a little surprised that the Braves would play the infield in here in the first inning of this game with Chili Davis up, but didn't matter as he hit the fly ball to shallow right. And there's a line drive, base hit to left, a broken bat hit for Shane Mack. Puckett scores, 2-0 Twins. Shane Mack hit that ball off the end of the bat. It broke. The business end went flying down towards third, but the ball went into left field. And I'll tell you one thing, Shane Mack will gladly sacrifice a bunt, a bat there to get a base hit. His first in the series. And here's Scotty Leos, 3 for 11 with a home run that won the second game. 2 RBIs. Avery throws to first. Mack gets back.
That was really a good at bat for Shane Mack. The first pitch, a high fastball, and he laid off of it. It's the type of pitch that Shane's been swinging at all series long. He's been going after so many bad pitches, but he had good discipline in that at bat. Waited for a strike from Avery and did get a good base hit.
There's a curve high. Scotty Leos hitting 6th, Herbeck 7th, Ortiz 8th, and Gagne 9th. Sid Bream holding with Shane Mack. Shane had 13 stolen bases in the season. Here's the pitch by Avery. Leas hits a little pop-up in the shallow left field. Could fall in there, and it does fall in. Hunter plays it on a bounce. Mack goes to third on a Texas League single by Leas. Leo Mazzoni, the pitching coach, going out to talk to Steve Avery. With one out, Knobloch hit a line drive to right for a single, then Puckett a ground ball down the left field line for a triple. Mack with a broken bat single to left, and now Scott Leas with a Texas leaguer that drops in for a hit, and Herbeck coming up. The Twins leading 2-0. Herbeck 3 for 19 in the series, 1 homer, 2 RBIs, 0 for 3 against Avery, and takes a curve strike. So the Twins grabbing an early lead here, 2-0. Runners at the corners now. Mack on third, Leas on first, and 2 out. Sid Bream holding with Leas. Second baseman Lemke playing out in short right. Avery, the left-hander, delivers a fastball strike on the inside corner. It's 0-2. Nothing in 2 to Kent Herbeck. A curve and then a fastball, both taken for strikes. The shortstop Belliard quite a few steps over towards second base. The outfield, however, is not playing him to pull. Playing him the opposite way a bit. Here's Avery's pitch. Curveball swung on, hopped down to Bream, who short hops the ball and steps on first for the out. The Twins come up with 2 runs on 4 hits and lead 2. First inning of play here at the Metrodome. The Twins 2, Atlanta 0. Right into batting, Brian Hunter playing left field with Lonnie Smith at DH. Takes inside the ball. Hunter 3 for 12 in the series. 1 homer, 3 RBIs. Here's the pitch by Scotty. Swinging a line drive, and it's caught by Leas. A leaping one-handed grab. What a catch by Leas. Oh, how he got up there, timed the leap perfectly, and got the ball to take a hit, maybe a double away from Hunter. Boy, Scott Leas had to time that leap just right, and he did it to take a hit, maybe an extra base hit away from Brian Hunter. Here's Olson. Greg is 6 for 18 in the series, batting .333, 2 doubles on RBI, and a fastball inside, ball 1. Olson batting 7th, Lemke 8th, Belliard the shortstop 9th. Erickson delivers, swing and a foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. In the first inning, Erickson gave up a 1-out single to Pendleton. He walked Dave Justice, but got Bream on a fly ball to Gladden in the left field corner on a 3-2 pitch. Now the windup by Scotty Erickson. Here's the pitch. A slider's low. 2 balls and 1 strike. One out, nobody on. Erickson into the windup. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Swinging a ground ball, foul outside of third. And it's a 2-2 count. Ball gets loose and rolls into center field, being retrieved by Chuck Knobloch. In the first 2 games here at the Metrodome, Twins won the first game 5-2, and the second one 3-2. And Erickson delivers a slider swung on, grounded to short. Gagne gloves it, throws it to first base. He got him. Two out. And it'll bring up Mark Lemke, the switch hitting second baseman. Lemke went 1 for 2 against Scott Erickson and is 7 for 16 in the series, hitting .438. 200 points higher than he hit in the regular season. Has a double and 3 triples, 4 RBIs. Six for 17 left-handed. And takes side corner a strike. 6 for 15 left-handed, I should say. 6 for 15. Got to hit his only time up right-handed off Mark Guthrie, that triple. Bluffs a bunt and takes it low. 1 ball, 1 strike. A triple in game 4 when he scored the winning run on a fly ball by Jerry Woolard. A 3-2 Braves win. And here's the pitch by Scott Erickson. Lemke swings, beats a foul off to the right of the plate, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 out and none on. Twins leading 2-0 in the top of the second. There's the windup by Scott Erickson. The pitch to Lemke. High, wide slider. 3-2. Mark Lemke, who is 26 years old. He's from Utica, New York. 5'9", 165. Wind up by Scott Erickson. The payoff delivery to him is swung on, and here's a drive up the middle. A base hit. That was a high fastball from Erickson. And Lemke singles to center. Hit number 2 for Atlanta. And Mark Lemke now 8 hits and 17 at bats. Number 2, Rafael Belliard, the shortstop. 4 for 12 in the series with a double and 4 RBIs. 1 for 2 against Scott Erickson.
55,155. 55155. Financial favor to be in the game now.
And the pitch, Belliard, right-handed batter, takes a strike. 0-1. Mark Lemke on second base, on first base rather. He is their second baseman. On at first now with 2 out. Here's the set by Erickson and the pitch. Swing and a foul back. Strike 2. This evening's paid attendance 55,155. 55155.
Crowds are bigger for each home game here at the Metrodome. First crowd was 55,108. Second crowd was 55,145. And this one is 10 more at 55,155.
Erickson's pitch. Belliard takes strike 3 on the inside corner. He thought it was inside. Stands there looking at Ed Montague, the plate umpire. Erickson's first strikeout. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left on. Junior Ortiz leads it off, takes the first pitch low. Ortiz 1 for 3 with a run batted in. He was 1 for 2 against Avery. And the pitch by the left-hander is swung on, a hard smash to third, trapped by Pendleton. Throws it to first for the out.
Coble said he caught it.
He trapped it though, I thought.
Well, we'll find out if the replay will show us, but he
he gave a very
out.
emphatic out sign for the third baseman. He trapped it, I think.
Yeah, he did. Replay shows that he trapped it. Good thing he threw. Although, even though Drew Coble called him out, didn't make any difference.
So let's see, how do you want to score that one? 5 unassisted or 5-3?
We'll let Tom Mee and Red Foley and the rest of the scorers down there figure that one out.
Record that is put out 5.
All right, put out 5.
The umpire's call will stand. Here's Gagne fouling one off a strike. So give Pendleton an unassisted put out, although it looked like he clearly trapped the ball.
Red Foley of the Baseball Writers Association, Mark Fredrickson, who is the Braves regular season scorer, and Tom Mee, the Twins regular season scorer, the 3 official scorers for tonight's game.
Avery is pitched to Gags. Swing a ground ball to Pendleton again. Nice hop for him there. Throws it to Bream for the out. Two gone, nobody on in the second inning for the Twins. Steve Avery, who was 18-8 during the season, 12-3 in the second half. Here's another bouncer to short. Belliard gloves it, fires to first base, got him, and the side is out 1-2-3. So at the end of two here at the Metrodome, it's the Twins 2, the Braves nothing.
The leadoff batter is Lonnie Smith, right-handed hitter against Erickson, and hit by a pitch. When Smith was batting in the first inning, Erickson's third pitch to him went right over his head. He almost hit him with that one, and this one here sails inside and looked like a fastball, and it hit Lonnie Smith just below the hip. He's all right, and he trots down to first base, hit by a pitch. The Braves have the tying run at the plate, and Terry Pendleton here to start the third inning. 2-0, Twins lead. Now one of the Braves bat boys coming out, getting a batting glove from first base coach Pat Corrales, who had in turn picked one up from Lonnie Smith. The Braves have had a base runner in every inning that they've batted. They're here in the top of the third, trailing 2-0, and here's Pendleton showing bunt. Throw to first. Got it. No, they didn't get him. Oh, they just missed getting Lonnie Smith. Boy, they had him dead to his rights. And how they didn't get him, I don't know, but back in time was Lonnie Smith. Don Denkinger, the American League umpire, had the call. Oh, he just got back in time. 1 ball to Pendleton. Herbeck showing quite an emotional facial expression to Don Denkinger after he just missed getting Lonnie Smith. Boy, what a big pickoff that would have been.
Well, Denkinger sure had a good look at it. It's ruled that he got his hand on the bag just before the tag.
Here's a high fastball, and it's 2-0 to count. Very close play, and Lonnie Smith just back in time. 2-0 to count to Terry Pendleton. Twins got 2 in the bottom of the first. Puckett tripled home. Chuck Knobloch from first base. And then Shane back with a broken bat single to left, scored Puckett from third. 2-0, Minnesota leading. Here's Erickson with a delivery. Swinging a foul out of play, and 2-1. Pendleton had a base hit, threw on the right side in his first at bat, and is 1 for 1. The Braves enter play tonight with a .269 team batting average in this series compared to the Twins' .218. Of course, Atlanta had that big 17-hit, 14-run attack on Thursday night when they beat the Twins in Game 4 by a score of Game 5 by a score of 14-5. Erickson watching Smith closely. The Braves have 5 stolen bases in the series so far, and they've not been caught as yet. Smith has 1 of the 5 stolen bases. Ready now, Scott Erickson, 2-1 delivery, another foul, back it out of play, 2-2. The largest crowd of the series, 55,155. Watching Game 6 here tonight. Most of them partisan Twins fans who are hoping for Game 7 tomorrow night. And that would be the deciding game. Pendleton fouls another. This one off to the left and out of play. It's still 2-2. None of the crowds as yet have matched any of the crowds in the 1987 World Series, where the biggest crowd was Game 7, 55,376. Smallest crowd was 55,171. Here's the 2-2 delivery, a smash to left. It's down the line, and it is a foul ball. Oh, is that close? Just missed touching the line. It bounced into the seats Pendleton will come back at 2-2, and Lonnie Smith is back to first. But that was a close play. That was a breaking pitch from Scott Erickson, and Pendleton looped it down the left field line. Bobby Cox came out to argue briefly as the ball was called by third base umpire Rick Reed of the American League. Excuse me, Terry Tata of the National League. And Pendleton back to the on-deck circle for just a brief moment. Now he's ready to bat. The replay very inconclusive as to whether or not it was fair or foul. Did not have a good angle on the replay. But Tata was right on top of the call. 2-2 pitch. Ground ball right side. Herbeck's got it to second one. Relay back, not in time. So the Twins get the lead out. Lonnie Smith at second base. 3-6 on the fielder's choice. And Pendleton now becomes the base runner at first. One away, and Ron Gant. He spun one down to Herbeck at first base in his first at bat and is 0 for 1. The line umpires tonight, Terry Tata is along the left field line, and Rick Reed of the American League is along the right field line. Here's Ronnie Gant as Erickson sets and checks the runner, steps off, and bluffs the throw to first. Here's the set by Erickson. Check of the runner, Pendleton, and the pitch. Gant swings and hits one very high and deep to left center. Back is Puckett. He's at the fence. He leaps up. He caught it. Oh, what a catch. Here's the throw back to first, and safe is Pendleton. Oh, Kirby Puckett with a great grab in left center field. This capacity crowd going wild with the defensive play of the series. Puckett in left center actually climbed the wall and made a fantastic leaping catch. Came back and nearly threw out Terry Pendleton at first base. What a grab by Puckett. He did not take a home run away from Ron Gant, but he certainly took away an extra base hit. What a great catch. And now the batter is going to be Dave Justice. Now they continue to show the replay on the center field scoreboard here. And the crowd seems to get more excited with each replay. Here's a pitch to Justice. It's low, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. We've seen some fine defensive plays here in the series, but none that will compare to that catch that Puckett just made in left center field. And the pitch low, 2-0 the count to Dave Justice.
Second ball that Ron Gant has hit in the series here at the Metrodome. I'm sure that both times when he hit them, he thought they were out.
Puckett stayed with that one. Gant hit it to a very deep part of the ballpark. And the pitch low, and 3-0 to Justice. So Erickson struggling some here in the third. The Twins lead 2-0. There's a runner at first with 2 away. I don't know if the Braves would have gotten a run had Puckett not caught the ball, but they certainly would have had runners at second and third. Justice swinging, and a bouncing ball hit to Herbeck at first. He stabs it, steps on the bag, and Justice swinging away at 3-0 is out, and the Braves are down in the third inning. Chuck Knobloch, who started that first inning rally, takes a strike from Steve Avery. Here's a curve, and it's inside, 2-0. Make it 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Chuck Knobloch. Twins lead 2-0. They have 4 hits to the Braves, 2. There are no errors. And the pitch. It's high, 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike, and here's the pitch. Knobloch swings. It's a number foul down the third baseline. 2-2 the count. Just one quick comment here, Herb, on Scott Erickson. He was hit hard in the third inning, and it was Dave Justice swinging on 3-0. The Braves are kind of hungry to get after Erickson.
Yeah, they really are. And, of course, all the big guys are going to have the green light on 3-0. Although Scotty's been to some 3-ball counts, I'd say overall, I think he has a little better location than he had the first time out at all. Much better than when he pitched against the Blue Jays.
Now Knobloch at 2 balls and 2 strikes. He's the batter for the Twins in the bottom of the third. Knobloch, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and Avery ready to pitch, and then Knobloch steps out. Chuck now has 7 hits in the series. That's the most for any of the Twins players. Gladden has 4. Here's the 2-2 delivery. A smash to short, 1 hop to Belliard. His throw in time, and there's 1 away. Broken bat, 1 hopper to Belliard at short. Leadoff batter Chuck Knobloch retired, and now Kirby Puckett, and listen to this hand. The Twins have a 2-0 lead, and here's Avery to Puckett. Tap foul behind home plate. No balls and 1 strike. Kirby lined to triple past Pendleton, just fair, down the third baseline, and his first at bat, it scored Knobloch. Outside, a ball with a fastball. 1-1 the count.
Kirby's triple his 4th hit in the series. He's 2 for 4 against Avery. Hit a home run off Avery at Fulton County Stadium.
Here's the 1-1 delivery. Swing and a foul. Boy, he had a wicked cut at a low fastball. He really went after that pitch. And it's 1-2. Well, one of the Twins scouts told me before the game, the Twins are going to try to discipline themselves a little better tonight against Avery in that Game 3 at Atlanta. The summation after the game was that the Twins chased bad pitches. Outside a ball. It was high and wide, and Puckett didn't go for it. 2-2 the count. Two to nothing Minnesota. Twins batting in the bottom of the third. Avery ready. He's into the wind, and here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out with a changeup. So Avery has retired the first 2 batters in the third. Knobloch at a ground out. Puckett on a strikeout, and the batter will be Chili Davis. That's the first strikeout for left-hander Steve Avery from Trenton, Michigan, just outside Detroit. It's hard to imagine, but some 16 months ago, the starting pitchers in Game 6 of this 1991 World Series were pitching in the minor leagues. Here's a ball inside, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to Chili Davis. Avery was pitching at Greenville in the AA Southern League, and Scott Erickson in June of 1990, just before his promotion to the big leagues, was pitching at Orlando in the Southern League. Here's the 1-0 delivery. High. 2-0 the count.
Steve Avery might be trying to overthrow a little bit. I think he's a lot more of a low fastball pitcher than Johnny Smoltz, the right-hander who would pitch tomorrow. But Avery's gotten a few of his pitches up.
And the Twins are not chasing that high pitch. They're holding off. Here's the 2-0 to Chile. Smash foul. Look out. Down the third baseline. Just past the dignitaries who are sitting in special box seats, including American League President Dr. Bobby Brown and the Commissioner of Baseball, Fay Vincent. 2-1 to count to Chile. Once again, the dignitaries, both left and right. To our right, the National League folks, including Bill White, the president of the American League, and to our left, the American League and Commissioner's Office folks, protected by ball boys. And the pitch, outside corner, a strike, and 2-2 the count. They do not have to pay for their tickets, and they've got box seats. 2 runs in the first for the Twins. Knobloch singled, Puckett tripled him home. Mack singled home Puckett. Here's Avery and a 2-2 to Chile. A high drive to deep right center. Justice is back. He's in front of the warning track and makes the catch. Well, Chile gave it a ride, but not quite far enough. And Justice catches the ball, backpedaling to the warning track in right center field. Well, here come the Braves now in the bottom half or top half of the 4th inning. Sid Bream, the leadoff batter. He was out on a fly ball to deep left in his first at bat. He takes a ball, swings and lines one foul down the right field line and out of play. And it'll be a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 to count to Sid Bream, who's now 2 for 17 in this series. Both of his hits are doubles. One was a flare here at the Metrodome in game 1 down the left field line. It's a sinker low, 2-1 to count. 2-0 Minnesota. And we're in the top half of the 4th inning of game number 6. Swinging a foul. And it'll be a count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scott Erickson, Twins 20-game winner during the regular season. He started game 3 of the ALCS against Toronto and did not pitch well. Pitches outside and a full count to Bream at 3-2. Started game 3 of the World Series Tuesday night in Atlanta and did not pitch well. Here's the payoff pitch to Bream. Ooh, he just missed inside, ball 4. And a leadoff walk. That was a close pitch and a good eye by Bream. That is the second walk given up by Scott Erickson. And now Brian Hunter on the first pitch to him is a strike. No balls and 1 strike. Justice drew a walk back in the first inning. Hunter, who has played in left field in all 3 games here at the Metrodome, filled in at first base for Bream in the games at Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium. Slider, a strike on the inside corner. 2 strikes to Hunter. Three for 12. Coming in, he's now 3 for 13. He lined out to Scott Leyes at third base in the second inning. Good catch by Scotty. Infield double play depth. Just outside with a fastball and 1-2 the count. The Braves are trailing 2-0, but they have the tying run at the plate and Brian Hunter. Sid Bream at first with a leadoff walk. Greg Olson is due up next. And the pitch. Shot to short. Caught by Gagne. No throw to first. Ooh, that was a smash by Hunter. And Gagne made one step to his left and caught the low liner. That's about as hard a hit ball as the Braves have hit tonight.
Well, they have that expression, this guy must be talking to himself, and Brian Hunter, he was robbed of a hit on a sensational leaping catch by Leas in the second inning. And this time he hit another scorcher. The ball was hit so hard that the runner, Bream, didn't have much chance to go very far, so he was able to get back.
The ball that he hit there, though, Herb, was not hit nearly, or was hit much harder than the ball that he hit to third baseman is Scott Leas in his first at bat. Foul strike by Olson. No balls in one strike. Well, the Twins still in double play depth. Boy, they'd like to get something on the ground here. Olson does not run that well. One away, one on. 2-0 Twins leading. And the pitch. It's a breaking pitch low. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Greg Olson. Twins have made 4 errors thus far in the series. The Braves have made 5. We've really seen some fine fielding plays in Game 6 already here tonight, including a gem of a catch by Kirby Puckett in left center field, taking an extra base hit away from Ron Gann in the third inning. Curve for a strike. 1-2 the count. Greg Olson from Edina, Minnesota. Greg's doing a diary for the Atlanta paper, The Constitution. There was a cute story on him in after games 1 and 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Erickson with a curveball, and Olson chased it. 2 away now. When Greg Olson returned to Atlanta after games 1 and 2, he went to the donut shop to buy breakfast for himself and his wife, Lisa. And the donut shop manager said, "Boy, you sure do look like Greg Olson." And he said, "Well, maybe that's because I am Greg Olson." And the shop manager gave him a sack full of donuts free. 1 ball, no strikes to count to Mark Lemke, who had a base hit to center in his first at bat. Takes ball 2 outside, and it's 2-0. Greg also said he got a free suit of clothes and got free use of an automobile for his wife Lisa while in Atlanta last week. And they had their car up here. Here's the strike at the letters, 2-1. So when he walked in the locker room the next day after he had divulged all of the gratuities that were given to him while in Atlanta, his teammates were asking when he got free today. Here's the 2-1 delivery. Swinging a foul down the first baseline. And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes to Lemke. 2 away, 1 on. Twins leading 2-0. Lemke 1 for 2, and now, or 1 for 1, and now 8 for 17. He had a hit and 2 trips against Erickson in game 3. Here's the 2-2 delivery. Swing a ground ball, hit toward short. Gagne's got it. He'll go to first. They get Lemke, and that's all for the Braves. No runs, no hits, 1 left. That leadoff walk to Sid Bream didn't hurt Erickson and the Twins. At the end of 3.5, Minnesota 2, Atlanta nothing. Shane Mack, the leadoff batter for the Twins in the bottom of the 4th inning. Minnesota leading 2-0. Shane, who had gone 0 for 15 in the World Series and 0 for 17 in his last 17 at-bats in playoffs and World Series play, singled in his first at-bat. Here he drives one to deep right, off the curtain. Mack for 2. He's in with a stand-up double. 2 for 2 for Shane Mack. Very simply put, folks, Shane Mack is back. He drilled that ball off the curtain in right field. A no doubt 2-base hit. And here's Scott Leas. Twins have their 5th hit. Their first off of Avery since Leyes had a Texas League single in the first inning. And here's Avery's pitch to Leyes, a strike on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Avery had retired 7 Twins batters in a row. Activity in the pen now for the Atlanta Braves. It is right-hander Jim Clancy. Atlanta leads the series 3-2. If they win tonight, they are the world champions of baseball for 1991. If the Twins win, we go to a 7th and deciding game tomorrow night here at the Metrodome. Leyes showing bunt, takes a curve low, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Shane Mack now with an RBI single and a double. Twins have 2 extra base hits tonight. 3-bagger by Puckett and the 2-bagger by Shane Mack. Here's the left-hander Avery into the set and the pitch. Just low. 2-1 to count. Boy, that looked like a pretty good pitch. But Scott Leyes with a good eye and takes it for ball 2.
No indication he was going to bunt that time.
Twins have her back on deck. Here's Avery's set and pitch, and a ground ball hit to third. 1 hop to Pendleton. He'll have to hurry to get Leyes. Got him. Out by just a half a step. That was a good play by Terry Pendleton. Nothing he could do but wait for the ball to come down to his glove. No chance for Mack to advance as Pendleton played the ball right near the third base bag. And then Pendleton got the throw to first baseman Bream in time to get Scott Leyes out by a half a step. Scotty runs well. I thought he might beat it out, but Pendleton's throw just in time. Here's Herbeck. And the first pitch. A high fly ball to shallow left. Coming on Hunter. He doesn't see it. He lost it. Here's Shane Mack to third, and he'll hold there. On to second, Herbeck. Twins get a bloop double by Herbeck on a break by Hunter, losing the ball in left field. Herb Carneal, we talked about this during the roundtable, and it shows up here in the 4th inning, and a big break for the Twins.
It's the second time in the series that the Braves have had a mix-up. Other time was in right field between the second baseman and the left fielder. This time the shortstop, Belliard. And Hunter, I don't know, he didn't really give any indication that he was going to catch the ball. He simply ran in too far, and the ball hit behind him. It's conceivable even the shortstop, Belliard, might have gotten there, but it was definitely the left fielder's ball. It'll be an error. It's going to be an error.
Now that's an interesting call. I say I have to agree with that call, even though Hunter did not touch the ball. He should have caught it, but he lost it, and he didn't. Here's Junior Ortiz and a breaking pitch for a strike. No balls and 1 strike. You know, Herb, we talked about Pendleton telling his teammates, don't ever take your eye off the ball. And you could clearly see that Hunter took his eye off that ball, looking at Belliard to see how close he was to him.
Yeah, almost impossible to recover.
And he did not, and the Twins get a big break. Strike 2 and a fastball on the inside corner. Junior Ortiz taking both pitches. The Atlanta infield is in. They trail 2-0, and the Twins might have a chance here to add to that lead. Greg Gagne is in the on-deck circle. Here's the set by Avery in the 0-2 delivery. Strike 3, a fastball. Junior Ortiz is out. Boy, that was not a good at-bat at all for Junior. Those 3 pitches were all around the strike zone, and he never really took the bat off his shoulder.
He questioned the second pitch a little bit, but I tell you, that's as good a fastball that Avery has thrown. That last third strike, boy, that was a good fastball by Avery. I think that's the best one he's thrown in the game.
And he jammed him inside in all 3. Came right in on his kitchen, as they say, and Junior did not lift the bat off his shoulder. Now the infield back. Here's Gagne with 2 away in the bottom of the 4th. Twins leading 2-0. And they'll try to add to the lead, and here's a pitch. Foul back. No balls, 1 strike. One other note on Hunter losing the ball, Herb. There was not an opportunity for Shane Mack to score. He had to wait at second base, and then when the ball hit safely, he could only advance to third.
Yeah, there was no way of knowing until about the last instant that Hunter wasn't going to catch the ball.
Plus, the ball was hit very shallow. Hunter coming in, Belliard going out. Gagne swings, and it's a ground ball to second. Lemke's got it on to first, and the Braves and Avery survive a big scare by the Twins in the bottom of the 4th. We go to the 5th, 2-0 Minnesota. Once again, here's Herb.
All right, John, a ball to Belliard, the shortstop. He was called out on strikes his first trip in the 2nd inning. Erickson's pitch. There's a strike. 1-1. Belliard's a good bunter, and Scott Leyes playing in close in the event that he might try to drop one down. He beat out a 2-strike bunt earlier in the series. Here's the pitch by Scott Erickson, swinging a foul down the back. 1-2. Lonnie Smith on deck, and then Terry Pendleton due up. The Twins with 2 runs, 5 hits and no errors. The Braves no runs, 2 hits and 1 error. And the pitch by Erickson. Hanging slider inside. 2-2. And the pitch. Swing a high bouncing ball. Leyes leaps high, gets it, goes at the first base with no chance to get him. It'll be an infield hit for Belliard. Nothing Scotty could do about that one. That high chopper down the third baseline. He had to leap, made a 1-hop off balance throw to first, much too late. So Belliard gets on.
You know, Herb, that was a real interesting call the official scorers made on giving Hunter an error and not Herbeck a base hit. 9 times out of 10 during the regular season, when the outfielder or infielder for that matter does not touch the ball, the official scorer has always credited him with a base hit. But in this instance here, they gave Hunter a 2-base error.
I've been in favor of that because I know it's tough to sometimes, but you're out there to catch the ball, and just a high fly ball to the shallow part of the outfield, you got to catch it.
No way Herbeck deserves a double on that play.
Not fair to the pitcher, certainly. And here's Lonnie Smith, a ground ball to third. Leyes goes to Knobloch. 1. Can't get the ball out of his glove. And Smith slides into first base. He didn't have to slide. Third to second. Looked like a double play chance there, but Knobloch coming across the bag. A little trouble getting the ball out of his glove. So we have a runner at first with 1 out now, and the batter will be Terry Pendleton, the switch hitting third baseman. Pendleton single to right in the first inning, hit into a force out. Herbeck to Gagne in the third. The Twins are getting the bullpen going now. Left-handed Mark Guthrie, right-handed Terry Leach beginning to heat up.
We talked a little bit about this in between innings after Erickson was out in the 4th. His pitch count is up pretty high right now.
Approaching the 80 pitch mark. And there's Pendleton with a long fly ball to center field. Kirby Puckett going back to the wall. Can't get it. Home run over the center field fence for Terry Pendleton. The game is tied at 2. Terry Pendleton right over the 408 sign, scoring Lonnie Smith ahead of him, and it is a 2-2 ball game. The second home run of the series for Terry Pendleton. He got the sinker, but it was up higher, I think, than Erickson wanted it. Pendleton got good wood on it and drilled it over the center field fence. And here's Ron Gant, who has bounced to first, flied to Puckett on that great catch. Hits a foul at the plate on the first pitch, 1 strike. So Terry Pendleton with one swing of the bat has tied the game here for Atlanta in the top of the 5th. Ron Gant hit a ball about 400 feet to left center in the 3rd inning, and Kirby Puckett with a spectacular leaping catch to rob him of a double, maybe a triple. That ball comes off the plexiglass, might be an inside the park home run. Here's a windup by Scott Erickson and the pitch. A slider swung on, tapped slowly to short, charged by Gagne, off balance, so to first, got in. Good play by Gags, who's made a lot of good plays out there at shortstop. Charging that one, making the throw to first again. Gant, it'll bring up Dave Justice. Pendleton's homer measured at 418 feet over the center field fence. Terry Pendleton, second home run of the series, 418 feet. Dave Justice walked in the first, bounced to first in the 3rd. He's hit 2 home runs. Swings, hits a high fly ball to deep right field. Is it fair or foul? It is a foul. Just foul right down the right field line. Boy, he just missed another home run. Only 327 down the line there, and he hit that high fly ball. Watched very closely by Rick Reed of the American League down the right field line, signaled foul.
That was really a tough ball to call because it was above and beyond the foul pole. The foul pole extends only up to the facing of the upper deck, and the ball hit just into the first row of the upper deck. But according to Rick Reed, it was foul, and it looked like it was about 3 or 4 feet foul.
High, tight fastball to Dave Justice, who glares out there for a moment to Scott Erickson. 1 ball, 1 strike. Justice homered off Scott Erickson in game number 3 in Atlanta. And the pitch. Low, bouncing away from Ortiz. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Braves 2 and the Twins 2 in the top of the 5th inning. Nobody on, 1 out. Erickson delivers just outside. 3-1. Two out. I think I said 1 out. 2 out here at the top of the 5th. And the pitch to Erickson by Erickson is swung on and bounced. Trapped by Knobloch. The throw got him. Nice play by Chuck to his glove side. Take the short 1-hop liner off the bat of Justice and throw him out. But the Braves tie it, 2 runs on 2 hits. Nobody left. 4.5. Atlanta 2 and the Twins 2.
Two to 2 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. The Pendleton homer, the first home run by the Braves here at the Metrodome. And for Atlanta, it was their 8th home run of the series. 2 to 2, and we go to the bottom of the 5th.
Gladden a high foul down the right field line and out of the reach of Dave Justice. Lemke, the second baseman, and Bream, the first baseman, also were over there. Dan Gladden bounced to short in the first and again in the second. Steve Avery, who has given up 5 hits, no walks, struck out 2. In the first inning with 1 out, Knobloch single, Puckett triple down the left field line. Kirby scored on Mac's broken bat single. Here's the windup by Steve Avery. The left-handed Brave delivers, and it's outside, then swung on and fouled away by Gladden. Went for an outside fastball, strike 2. Steve Avery, winner of 18, loser of 8 in the regular season, 2 wins in the playoffs. Throws a fastball inside. Swing by Gladden, a foul off to the right out of play, and it's still 1-2. Knobloch on deck and Puckett to follow. Steve Avery averaging only about 14 pitches an inning so far. Here's the left-hander with a pitch to Gladden, swinging a foul back. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. A must-win for the Twins here, trailing in the series 3-2. The windup by Steve Avery, the pitch to Gladden. Fastball wide. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Steve Avery, who pitched to 1 batter in the 8th inning in game number 3 and then left. Into the windup, here's the pitch. A high fastball, and it's 3-2. Full count. Avery went 3-2 on Chili Davis in the 1st inning, and this has been his only other 3-ball count in the game. Dan Gladden trying to get on there. 4 hits and 23 at-bats in the series. Avery's pitch is swung on and fouled away, so he's giving him a battle. Still 3-2. Steve Avery with a good live fastball, a good curve, and an occasional changeup. Takes a sign from Greg Olson. Again, the windup, the 3-2 pitch. Swung on and a foul back. Dan Gladden battling Steve Avery here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Nobody on and nobody out. Tied at 2. Pendleton's 2-run home in the top of the inning, tied it for the Braves. Avery winds and delivers. High, he walked him. Well, that was quite a battle there, and Dan Gladden certainly earned that base on balls.
That's one of those at-bats, Herb, that remind you of Morris versus Carter in the ALCS. And it could be a very key at-bat for the Twins in a 2-2 tie game.
There's the set by Steve Avery. And the pitch to Knobloch. There goes Gladden. The pitch is low. The throw is not in time. He has a stolen base. Close play at second. Gladden gets his 2nd steal in 3 attempts. The throw was a little bit in the dirt. Belliard came up with it cleanly. But the call at second base by Harry Wendelstedt safe. 1-0 now to Chuck Knobloch. The go-ahead run at second. 3rd baseman Pendleton, 1st baseman Breen playing even with the bags. There's Avery taking a sign from Olson. Goes to the set and delivers to Knobloch. A little bit low. Ball 2. Two and nothing to Knobloch. Puckett on deck. Now Olson is going out to talk to Steve Avery. With Gladden on second here and nobody out. Pendleton will come over from 3rd. Sid Breen from 1st. He did not miss by much with that last pitch. Ed Montague, I think, felt it was a little bit low. So Knobloch with a count of 2-0. Two ball, no strike count to Knobloch. Playing in close to the corners. Outfield straight away. Steve Avery goes to the set, looks to second. The pitch to Knobloch. Inside, ball 3. Remember in game 5, Tommy Glavine had pitched so well for 5 innings, and he lost control in the 6th, and now Avery has walked his first batter, and he's got behind Knobloch 3-0. The left-hander goes to the set, and the 3-0 delivery. It's a strike. 3-1. Knobloch hitting .368 in the series, 7 hits in 19 at-bats. Three ball, 1 strike count. Gladden getting his lead at second base. Avery to the set. Here's the left-hander's pitch. It is swung on, a foul out of play down the right field line. 3-2.
Boy, you really got to give this guy Steve Avery a lot of credit. This crowd is just coming down on him, yelling and shouting and waving those Homer hankies. And he really does appear to have a coolness about him as he pitches to Knobloch here.
He is zeroed in on his job, I think.
He really is.
Full count to Knobloch. Avery to the set. The payoff delivery swung on another foul down the right field line, being chased by Justice, and he can't get to that one either. So Chuck stays alive at 3-2. Steve Avery, who was only 3-11 last year for Atlanta. But the difference, he says, is simply making better pitches, a little more concentration, instead of just throwing a fastball or throwing a curveball, having any idea what you want to do with it, which he's had most of the time this year. The 3-2 delivery swung on a fly ball at the right field. Justice going back. He reaches up, makes the catch. Gladden tags and will go to third after the catch. Good grab at the edge of the track by Justice. Nice hitting by Knobloch. He gets the run over to third here with 1 out, and Kirby Puckett coming up.
I thought maybe they might have Knobloch bunting, but they never did show any signs of a bunt. And Chuck really did a good job. And Justice made a good play. He had to go back to get that one. At first, I didn't think he was going to get it, but it hung up there for him to make the catch right in front of the track, and it was easy for Gladden to advance. Twins hopefully will get this run across now with Gladden at third and the big guys coming up, Puckett and Davis.
They'll pull the infield in again. The third time they've had the infield in here in the game, starting back in the first inning. Puckett, a ground ball triple over third in the first, struck out in the third. Avery's pitch swung on, a well-hit ball to deep center field. Back goes Gant. He'll make the catch, and the run will score easily. The Twins lead 3-2 on a sacrifice fly by Puckett to deep center. Kirby gave that one a good ride, straight away center field. Some 390 feet out. Gant going back to make the catch. So Kirby has his second RBI of the game. His third in the series. He's had all 3 of his RBIs against Avery. And Chili Davis will be the batter. Chili flied to right in the first inning, and again in the third inning. Hit the ball fairly deep in the third inning. Justice made the catch in right center. So the Twins take the lead 3-2 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. On a walk, a stolen base, and 2 fly balls. That's getting a lot of mileage out of a base on balls. 2 out now, nobody on. Avery delivers. Fastball swing and a miss. 1 strike. Atlanta still has a bullpen going. Left-handed Merker, right-hander Clancy. Top of the inning, the Twins had Guthrie and Leach throwing in the bullpen. The wind-up, Avery's pitch. Strike on the inside edge, 0-2. Chili steps out of the box for a moment. No ball, 2 strike count, 2 out, nobody on. They play him a little bit to the left in the outfield. And the pitch by Avery. Just inside with a fastball, 1-2. First baseman Bream about 40 feet off the first base line. Avery swings into the windup, time call by plate umpire Montague. And Avery delivers. Strike 3 on the outside corner. Chile thought it was outside, but gets rung up there. 1 run, no hits, nobody left. 5 innings, the Twins 3, Atlanta 2.
Twins have the lead back at 3-2. And once again, here's Herb.
And the big, tall, left-handed batting first baseman Sid Bream takes wide, ball 1. The Twins 3 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. The Braves 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. Bream is fly to left, had a base on balls. Erickson delivers. It is a ball outside, 2-0. Here's the windup. Erickson's pitch. Swung on, pop up, left side. Leas waiting for it. He has it, 1 away. Big out there. He got behind 2-0 and gets Bream on a pop to third. Now, Brian Hunter, the left fielder, he has hit 2 line drives in the second inning. Scott Leas leaped high to spear the ball. And then he hit a line drive to Gagne and the shortstop in the 4th inning. Hunter is a left-handed fielder, but he bats right-handed. Now Ricky Henderson. And the first pitch is high for ball 1. Mark Guthrie starts to crank up again in the Twins bullpen. The windup by Scott Erickson. The pitch to Hunter. Swung on, a fly ball to shallow center field. Knobloch out. Knobloch now. It's, yep. Oh, Gagne almost ran into him, but Knobloch made the catch. And there were 2 down. Greg Olson was grounded to short and struck out. Right-handed batting Greg Olson against Scott Erickson. Oh boy, that's a pitch behind him. Ball 1. We've talked about how, especially for the visiting team, with all the noise in here, you cannot have any oral communication. You can't hear it. But at the same time, it's almost impossible to have any visual communication because you can't take your eye off the ball to see what the other fielder might be doing. So that was the case there with Gagne, who meandered over behind second base, and Knobloch was already standing there. Here's the pitch on the way by Erickson. A fastball strike. 1-1. 3-2 ball game. The Twins lead the Braves, top of the 6th. Erickson's pitch. Low slider. Ball 2 and strike 1. Greg Olson, 6 hits in 20 at-bats in the World Series, batting .300. And Erickson's pitch. Swung on, another pop-up, shallow center field. Puckett coming in for this one. Kirby Puckett is there. He has it. The side is out. A 1-2-3 inning for Scott Erickson. The first one he's had in the game. 5.5 innings. The Twins 3, the Braves 2.
Now we go to the bottom of the 6th, and here's Herb.
All right, Shane Mack fouls off the first pitch. Shane with a broken bat single to score a run in the first inning, and then he tripled off the curtain in right center. Doubled in the 4th inning. And the pitch by Avery is too low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Shane Mack getting his first 2 hits on the series after going 0 for 15. He's now 2 for 5 against Steve Avery. Scott Elias on deck, Ken Herbeck to follow. Here is the 1-1 delivery. A breaking ball swung on a line foul outside of third base. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Marty Springstead of the American League office, who helps with Dick Butler as supervisor of the umpires. He's carrying a glove with him. He almost caught that one. He's trying to protect the commissioner and also American League President Dr. Bobby Brown down there in the executive box.
One and two now to Shane Mack, and Avery kicks and throws. Swing a little squibber to the right side wide of first. Bream up with it. Shovels the ball to Avery in time. Mack taking a head-first dive in the first base, but Avery got there just ahead of him. 3-1 the play. Good hustle there by Shane Mack. Made it close. He hit the ball just a little squibber very wide of first base, and Bream made a nice underhanded toss to Avery. Scott Elias dumped a single to left in the first inning, bounced to third in the fourth. And the pitch in the dirt with a curveball. 1 ball and no strikes. Twins 3, Atlanta 2. Bottom of the 6th inning here at the Metrodome. 1 out, none on. And the pitch by Avery. Fastball, line to center for a hit. Gant to his left, fields the ball, and Elias on with his second hit, a solid single to center field. Scott Elias now with 5 hits and 14 at-bats. He's had an outstanding series. Ken Herbeck bounced to first in the first inning. Reached on a 2-base error by left fielder Brian Hunter in the fourth, when Hunter let his little fly ball drop behind him. Avery throws to first base. Elias gets back. Mark Wohlers, right-hander, warming up now for Atlanta. The set by Avery. The pitch to Herbeck. Breaking ball, bounce down to Bream. He'll throw it to second base. 1 out, back to first, and they got the double play. 3-6-3 double play. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left. 6 innings. Twins 3, the Braves 2. Twins 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors. Braves 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. 7th inning, and here's John.
And Mark Lemke 1 for 2 tonight against Scott Erickson, leading off in the 7th inning. Swings in a first offering and lines a foul down the right field line and out of play. No balls and 1 strike. Erickson, since giving up the 2-run homer to Terry Pendleton that tied the game at 2, has retired 5 Atlanta Braves batters in a row. It is first 1-2-3 inning in the 6th inning. Swing and a miss on a breaking pitch. 0-2 the count to Lemke. Twins leading 3-2. They've out hit the Braves 6-4. There is no tomorrow for the Minnesota Twins. They have to win tonight to force Game 7 tomorrow night. Here's the pitch. Way high. Off the glove of Ortiz, the Twins catcher, and it's 1-2. If there is a 7th and deciding game tomorrow night, it'll feature Jack Morris against John Smoltz. They were the Game 4 starters, and the Braves won that game 3-2. Here's the line and the 1-2 delivery outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. In Game 4, which the Braves won 3-2, the winning pitcher was Mike Stanton. The losing pitcher was Mark Guthrie. Scott Erickson and the Twins leading 3-2 as the Braves bat in the 7th. Here's the 2-2 to Lemke. Line drive and a base hit into center field. Well, the Twins bullpen at work. Left-hander Mark Guthrie, right-hander Terry Leach. That pitch by Scott Erickson, according to my count, was the 101st pitch by Scott Erickson. That's quite a few. And I'm sure Tom Kelly and Dick Such are looking at pitch count right now.
Threw a slider, probably got it up in the strike zone more than he wanted to. Getting that type of a pitch up in the strike zone, of course, gives that batter a much better look at it. And now Tom Kelly's coming out of the third base dugout. He has Guthrie and Terry Leach, left-hander and right-hander in the bullpen. Scott Erickson has allowed 5 hits. He's walked 2, hit a batter, and struck out 2. Junior Ortiz out there. And Tom Kelly now reaches the mound. He's going to bring in Mark Guthrie. Mark Guthrie, the left-hander, will get the call. Nice hand for Scott Erickson. So Mark Guthrie will come in to do the pitching here with Belliard, the number 9 hitter, the shortstop, coming up.
Excuse me, Herb. Tommy Gregg is a pinch hitter for Belliard. Now we'll see if they get a pinch hitter for Tommy Gregg. In all probability, we will.
Jeff Blauser's coming out now. So Belliard, I figured they might leave him in and let him try to bunt the runner over here, although being the visiting team in the top of the 7th, they generally don't play for the tie if you're the visiting team in the late innings. But Belliard's really done a good job out there with a glove, too, at shortstop. So we'll get a pinch hitter, Blauser, for the announced pinch hitter, Tommy Gregg. And right now we're set to go again. Blauser batting for Gregg, the announced pinch hitter, against Mark Guthrie. The Twins leading 3-2, but the Braves have the tying run on.
All right, here we go to Blauser, the pinch hitter. And he takes a strike from Guthrie. And no balls and 1 strike. Officially, right-hander Scott Erickson had 100 even pitches. As mentioned, Guthrie was the losing pitcher in Game 4 Wednesday night. This is his 4th appearance in the series. Swing and a miss on a good fork ball. 2 strikes the count. He appeared in Game 1 last Saturday. 2/3 of an inning, he faced 1 batter, and he got him on a double play. He's faced 12 batters in all and given up 2 hits. Tuesday night in the extra inning game, which the Twins lost 5-4, he faced 7 batters and allowed 1 hit. He pitched well in that game. Here's the 2-strike delivery. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. A foul to the glove. And Junior Ortiz just hung on to it. I mean, the snow cap of the baseball could be seen as Ortiz held that ball in the webbing of his catcher's mitt. He just got that one.
Junior was admiring Bobby Brown's autograph on that one, I think.
Indeed he was, Herb. Now Lonnie Smith with a runner at first and 1 away. The leadoff batter, Lemke, reached in a single into center. Now Smith, who is 0 for 2 tonight, he forced a runner and scored a run. Takes a low pitch, it gets away from Junior, and Lemke goes to second. So the Braves get the tying run in scoring position at second base here on a wild pitch by Mark Guthrie. That was a low pitch, and Junior Ortiz could not handle it. It's 1 ball to Smith, and the pitch. He shows bunt and takes it low, 2-0. Twins still have right-hander Terry Leach in the bullpen. He appears to be ready. And now the Twins are going to warm up Carl Willis. 2-0 the count to Lonnie Smith. And the pitch. It's a strike. 2-1 the count. Guthrie trying to keep that ball low to Lonnie Smith. He bounced out 3rd to 1st, hit by a pitch by Erickson in the 3rd, safe in a fielder's choice in the 5th, came in to score in the 2-run homer by Pendleton. Twins lead 3-2. Here's the delivery, a bunt attempt. Let's see if he went after it. They're appealing now to first base. Plate umpire Ed Montague has called the pitch a ball. And that's the way it's going to stand. And they're saying that Smith did not offer at the pitch. It's 3-1. Here's Guthrie in a 3-1 delivery. Smith swings and fouls down the third baseline. 3-2 and a full count. Mark Guthrie working to Lonnie Smith with a switch hitting Terry Pendleton due up next. Carl Willis and Terry Leach in the Twins bullpen. And Merker, the left-hander, in the Braves bullpen. We're in the 7th, and the Twins lead 3-2. 6 hits for the Twins, 5 for the Braves. Atlanta has made 1 error. Here's Guthrie in a 3-2 offering, and he steps off. Now to set by the left-hander, and here's the pitch. Popped up, foul. It'll reach the seats. Over Ortiz, and it's out of play. It's still 3-2. The other night, Guthrie was in the game, and he had to issue an intentional walk to Mark Lemke. He said it was the absolute most nervous time he's ever had in a baseball game. It was in the bottom of the 9th inning, and he was fearful of delivering a pitch that might have gotten away from the catcher that could have resulted in the winning run scoring. 3-2 delivery. Here it is. He walked him, ball 4. Now the Braves have runners at first and second. And here's Terry Pendleton. 2 for 3 tonight, including a 2-run homer. There's drama here tonight, folks. 3-2 in the top of the 7th inning. Atlanta batting in game 6. And they lead in this series 3-2. Here's Guthrie to Pendleton. Swing and a miss, and strike 1. Pendleton at a 2-run homer. 418 feet away from home plate. Accounting for the Braves' 2 runs in the 5th inning. Twins scored 2 in the 1st, 1 in the 5th. They lead 3-2. 2 on, Lemke the lead runner at second. And the pitch low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-handed hitting, Ronnie Gant would be next. Twins infield, double play depth. And the Twins get a bit of an advantage with Pendleton batting from the right side. They'd love to turn 2 here. Here's Guthrie now in a 1-ball, 1-strike delivery to the dangerous hitting Pendleton. Swinging a tapper on the right side. Could be a tough play. Knobloch charging in. Bare hand pickup, and he can't make a throw. The Braves have the bases loaded with 1 out. Terry Pendleton with a spinning ground ball on the right side. It made it past Guthrie. Once it did, Knobloch was the only infielder that could play the ball. Pendleton beats it out for an infield single, and now here's Ronnie Gant.
Well, there's a ball he might as well have bunted. About the same result, just got it past Mark Guthrie. Forced Knobloch to field it, and then there was no time left. And Tom Kelly's going to make another trip to the mound here and probably bring in a right-hander. He has Willis or Leach to pitch to Ron Gant. He's going to get Willis in here. So Mark Guthrie pitches a 3rd of an inning, gets a strikeout, a walk, gives up that squib hit to Pendleton, and Carl Willis will be the new Twins pitcher.
The lead runner is Lemke at 3rd. At second is Lonnie Smith, and at first is Terry Pendleton. Gant is 0 for 3. Willis sets and pitches, and he's wide. 1 ball and no strikes. until the last appearance by Willis, which was Thursday night in Game 5. In the 2 previous appearances, he had faced 10 Atlanta batters and retired 9 of the 10. He was banged around in the Thursday night game. Here's a strike, and it's 1-1. Willis gave up 4 hits in 1 inning, including a home run to Brian Hunter. The other homer he gave up was to Lonnie Smith. Bases loaded, 1 out and a 1-1 pitch. Ground ball to short. Gagne has it to second, 1 to first. Didn't get him. Tie game at 3. Well, it really wasn't a double play ball. Gagne had to go a couple of steps to his right. The throw to Knobloch was in time to get Pendleton. And then Knobloch really didn't get the ball out of his glove in a great hurry to get the throw to first. And Gant, who is a superb runner, beats the throw, Knobloch to Herbeck. That run is charged to Scott Erickson. So he ends up going 6 innings, giving up 3 runs. Scoring Lemke on the ground ball to the shortstop, and that ties the game. On to third goes Lonnie Smith. Out at second, 6-4 is Terry Pendleton, and on at first is Gant. And now here is Dave Justice. And the Twins aren't out of the 7th yet. Strike on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. An RBI for Ronnie Gant, his 4th of the World Series. Atlanta has tied it at 3-3. And they have Lonnie Smith at third base, the 4th and go-ahead run. Swing and a miss and a fork ball. 2 strikes. Justice tonight, a walk. Out on a fine play by Herbeck at first. And a pop-up to Leyes at third. He's 0 for 2. Oh, this big crowd standing and cheering for their favorite Twins. Here's the 0-2. No, it's a pickoff attempt. Justice awaiting still an 0-2 pitch. Here's Willis now, 0-2 to Justice. Outside and 1-2. Atlanta trailing 2-0, tied it at 2. Atlanta trailing 3-2, has tied it now at 3. They have runners at first and third. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. Here's Willis and a 1-2. Inside and 2-2 the count. Carl Willis, who started the season at Portland in the AAA Pacific Coast League, was called up when the Twins were 2-9 and pitched brilliantly during the regular season and has done a very good job in relief during the playoffs and World Series. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Got him on a fork ball. Carl Willis with a big strikeout. Justice is down. And the Braves are out in the 7th.
Jeff Blauser will stay in the game and play shortstop, and now Brian Harper will come up as a pinch hitter here for Ortiz in the bottom of the 7th. We're tied at 3.
And Mike Stanton is now pitching for Atlanta, left-hander. Kicks and fires and delivers a low fastball. 1 ball, no strikes. Stanton has really pitched well in the series. This is his 4th appearance. He's faced 15 batters and allowed only 1 hit in the Wednesday game, which he won. Harper swings and fouls to the right, and it's a ball and a strike. He pitched an inning and 2/3, faced 5 batters, retired them all. Avery went 6 innings, Gave up 6 hits and 3 runs. 1-1 delivery. Ground ball, foul down the third baseline. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. Steve Avery had an 83 pitch count, but he leaves the game after 6. And he will not be the winner, nor will he be the loser. The starting pitchers will not figure in the final decision. We're tied at 3 in the bottom of the 7th. There's a foul off to the right and a check swing by Harper. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Twins batters have had a lot of trouble with Mike Stanton. He's ready on a 2-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on a wicked curveball. That was a pitch that was in and out of the strike zone. And Harper went for it. Good breaking pitch from Mike Stanton. He started that pitch right at the inside corner. And it was probably 3 or 4 inches inside after the break. And Harper swung and missed. 1 away in the bottom of the 7th, tied at 3. Here's Greg Gagne, 0 for 2, and the pitch. High foul to the right and out of play. No balls and 1 strike. The strikeout for Stanton, his first, and the 3rd of the game for the Braves pitchers. Avery, the left-handed starter for the Braves, struck out 2. And the pitch. Gagne fouls back and out of play, and Stanton is quickly ahead of Greg Gagne at no balls and 2 strikes. Interestingly, Bobby Cox, the manager of the Atlanta Braves, lifts his starter, Steve Avery, after 83 pitches and brings in another left-hander, Mike Stanton. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Line drive, base hit. Right center field. Played by center fielder Gant and quickly relayed it in. And Gagne is on with a 1-out single. He had an 0-2 pitch. He drilled it past Lemke into right center. And I'll tell you, the speed of Ron Gant really paid off for the Braves there. He got to that ball to hold Gagne to a long single. Now Dan Gladden. Oh for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Gladden came in on the sacrifice fly by Puckett in the 5th inning to give the Twins a 3-2 lead. Now it's 3-3. Throw to first, back in time, Greg Gagne. And now Stanton ready to work. Here's the pitch. High, 1 ball and no strikes. Gladden has not hit the ball out of the infield yet tonight. He has grounded out short to first twice and drawn a walk. Gagne is a fast runner, but he's not a good base stealer. He as yet does not have a stolen base in the World Series. And the throw to first, back in time, Greg Gagne. Twins have stolen 1 base tonight. That was Gladden. And they are now 6 out of 9 in stolen bases against Greg Olson. 1-0 to Dan Gladden in the pitch. Inside and 2-0. Mike Stanton struck out leadoff batter Brian Harper. He got ahead of Greg Gagne at 0-2, and Gagne drilled a single into right center. Believe me, Gagne had thoughts of trying for 2, but Gant got to the ball to hold him to a single. Again to throw to first. Stanton doing a good job of holding the runner on. Now Mike Stanton ready. Here's the 2-0 delivery. High, ball 3. Heightened drama here in the Metrodome. I tell you, it can't get any more gut-wrenching than it is right now. Oh, this is something. 3-0 to Dan Gladden. And the pitch. Bouncing ball to short. Blauser to Lemke. On to Bream and a double play. Oh my, Dan Gladden swings on 3-0 and hits into an inning-ending 6-4-3 twin killer. Twins 3, Braves 3. Well, right where the Twins were almost to the pinnacle of taking the lead here in the drama at the Metrodome, they drop right to the bottom of the abyss as hitter Dan Gladden hits a ground ball to shortstop Blauser, and he starts an inning-ending double play. The game remains tied at 3. We go to the 8th inning. Carl Willis to face Sid Bream, and the Braves and the Twins trying to decide Game 6, and it's tied at 3-3. Carl Willis to Sid Bream, and here's Herb.
All right, first pitch, a strike. Bream slide to left, walk, pop to third. Atlanta, 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. The Twins, 3 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. The windup by Willis, and the pitch. Bream takes it outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sid Bream, like Dave Justice, seems to prefer the ball on the outside, from the middle to the outside part of the plate. There's the pitch, swung on a little tap foul down the first baseline. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Twins are playing Bream straight away. He'll be followed here by Brian Hunter and then Greg Olson. Scott Erickson pitched to 1 batter in the 7th, was charged with the 3 runs. Guthrie pitched the 3rd of an inning. Carl Willis winds and delivers. Low and outside with that fork ball, 2-2. Ball 2 and strike 2 to Sid Bream. He's noted more as a gap hitter to left center or right center, although he can turn on a pitch. If he gets his pitch down the middle, he'll sometimes turn on it and does have average power. Swing and a foul back. 2-2 pitch is swung on and slapped foul down the left field line on the play, and the count rides along at 2-2 to Bream. There's a windup by Willis. The pitch. Low. And he has run the string out on Bream. I think we've had a lot of 3-ball counts in this game. So far, Erickson has given up 2 walks, hit a batter. Guthrie walked 1. Steve Avery only walked 1 while he was in there for Atlanta. Now the windup by Willis. A payoff delivery. It's swung on. A high fly ball to center field. Puckett going back, getting to it in deep center, and makes the catch. Breen flies to center. One away to bring up Brian Hunter, the left fielder. In the second inning, he lined to Elias, who made a spectacular leaping catch. Fourth inning, he lined to Gagne. And in the sixth inning, he popped up to Knobloch. '23-year-old Brian Hunter from Toro, California, 6-footer, 195. First year in the big leagues. Takes the first pitch low from Willis, ball one. Hit 12 home runs in 271 at-bats during the season. And the pitch by Willis. Strike. Fastball over, 1-1. Game 6 at the Metrodome, and we are tied at 3 here with 1 out in the 8th inning for the Braves. Nobody on. 1-1 to number 14, Brian Hunter, and Willis delivers. Low outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. Carl Willis in his 4th game in the World Series. Mike Stanton also appearing in his 4th game tonight for Atlanta. Here's the pitch. Swung on a high pop-up off first base. A play for Herbeck in foul territory. He's under it. He has it to a row. 2 down. It'll bring up Olson. Gregg has grounded to short, struck out, and fly to center. Two down, nobody on. Carl Willis, who's retired 4 in a row since he came in. Swings into his windup, delivers to Olson. Swing and a miss. Went for a fastball off the outside part of the plate, 0-1. And the pitch. Swing, little tap towards Gagne. Charges it, up with it, throws it to Herbeck. In time, the side's out. 1-2-3 inning. Nothing across for Atlanta. 7.5. Braves 3 and the Twins 3.
Well, we've got activity in the Twins bullpen. Rick Aguilera. Same for the Braves. Right-hander Alejandro Pena. Twins come to bat in the bottom of the 8th inning. In a tie game at 3. They've out-hit the Braves 7-6. Mike Stanton in relief of Steve Avery to Chuck Knobloch.
Strike called on the first pitch. Chuck single to right in the first. Grounded to short in the third. Fly to right in the 5th. Mike Stanton, 6'1", 190, out of Houston, Texas, delivers a breaking ball a little bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Twins scored 2 in the first. Terry Pendleton's 2-run homer tied it for the Braves in the 5th. The Twins went ahead in the bottom of the inning, and the Braves tied it in the 7th. Here is the set of the pitch. Strike. Slider in there, and it's 1-2 to Knobloch. One ball, 2 strikes. Outfield shades him to the right, and Stanton kicks and crawls. A slider hit in the air to shallow center field. Backing up his blouse of the shortstop, and he makes the catch. Right behind second base. Put out for the shortstop. 1 away. It'll bring up Kirby Puckett. Kirby hit a ground ball right over third base for a run-scoring triple in the first. Struck out in the third, hit a long fly to center to score a run in the fifth. So he's knocked in 2 of the Twins' 3 runs. Shane Mack knocked in the other one in the first inning with a single. Stanton kicks and throws. A fastball swung and a missed. A good sinking fastball off the outside corner. Mike Stanton had an excellent year with the Braves. His rookie year, he was in 74 games. 5 wins, 5 losses, 7 saves. Had an earned run average of 2.88. Held opponents to an average of only 217. Kirby takes low and inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Stanton's 4th appearance in the series. He has now pitched 6 innings. Allowed no runs, 2 hits. Walked 1 and struck out 2. He delivers. Kirby fouls it back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Stanton with a good fastball and curve. Hard slider. Works out of a set position all the time. Gives you a high leg kick, hiding the ball as long as possible. Throws a curve fouled away, and it's still 1-2 to Puckett as Chili Davis waits on deck. Stanton was in 7 games last year for the Braves and delivers outside a fastball 2-2. And he was with them briefly in 1989. This is his first full year in the big leagues. There's the set by the left-hander. And the pitch. Breaking ball, line to right, a hit. Kirby Puckett lines a single to right. His second hit brings up Chili Davis, who was flied to right twice and struck out. Called out in the 5th inning. Pena continues to warm up in the Braves bullpen. Aguilar in the Twins bullpen. 8 hits now for the Twins. They had 4 in the first inning. Now we have a situation where Bream is holding at first base and the second baseman Lemke well towards the bag at second. Almost an invitation to hit the ball through the right side of the infield. Here's the pitch by Stanton, a swing and a miss. 1 strike. Atlanta 3, the Twins 3. Last of the 8th inning. In the series, Chili 3 for 13. 2 of his hits, of course, have been home runs. Each home run has come with a man on. Right now, Kirby Puckett is aboard here with 1 out. Stanton, the left-hander, out of the set. Delivers. Davis swings through the fastball. Strike 2 the count. That was a good high, hard fastball that time from Mike Stanton. Mike Stanton, by the way, does qualify as a rookie, although he's been up twice briefly before with the Braves, but not enough to be disqualified as a rookie. He throws to first base and Puckett gets back. Stanton, 23 years old. No ball, 2 strike count to Chili Davis as Puckett gets his lead at first base. The outfield is fanned a bit to the left here for Davis, so Justice, the right fielder, well into right center. Stanton out of the set, delivers a foul back out of play. Again, he gave him a fastball, and he fouled it off that time, 0-2. Only 1 error that's been charged to Brian Hunter, the Braves left fielder, when he lost a pop-up by Ken Herbeck in the 4th inning. 0-2 to Chili Davis. Up there, right-handed against Stanton. Here's the set by the left-hander. The pitch just outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Atlanta, which won 94 games during the regular season. They had won only 65 games in 1990, improving by 29 games. The Twins improved by 21 games over last year. Stanton delivers. Davis fouls one back. Got it jammed on that fastball inside. It's still 1-2. Twins winning 95 games this year. They'd won 74 last year. Mike Stanton, who played some baseball at Alvin, Texas Community College. Braves 13th round pick in 1987. And Chili Davis with a count of 1 ball and 2 strikes as Kirby leads at first base. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball a little high. 2-2. With a slider, but got it high. 2-2 to Chili. Checking with Ron Gardner before he gets back in. Shane Mack is on deck. Sid Bream holding with Kirby Puckett at first base. 1 out here in the bottom of the 8th, tied at 3. Stanton throws to first. Kirby gets back. Two and 2 to Chili Davis. 29 home runs during the regular season and 93 runs batted in. And Stanton with a sign. Here's the left-hander's pitch. High. 3-2. 3 ball, 2 strike count now. He had Chili 0-2. Fouled off 2 pitches. They'll run the string out here at 3-2. See how the Twins will be playing it here with Puckett on first base and 1 out. Mike Stanton checking with Olson for the sign. Kirby gets his lead. He's running. The pitch swung on a high fly ball to center field. Medium deep though. Gant, the center fielder, is under it and makes the catch. Kirby has to go back to first. Davis flies to center. 2 away. It'll bring up Shane Mack. A broken bat single to left to drive in a run in the first inning. His first hit of the series. Doubled off the curtain in right center in the 4th. And was out from Bream to the pitcher Avery in the 6th. 3-1 put out. Now the set. Stanton's pitch. Mack takes the fastball wide. Ball 1. Mentioned earlier, I believe, that Stanton held opponents to a batting average of only .217 against him. Left-hander hit only .194. He delivers to Max. It's a swing and a miss. Came inside with a fastball. Shane didn't get it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Batters in this inning are getting their pitch here, but it's a very good pitch by Mike Stanton. You got to give him a lot of credit. He's got some zip on that fastball. Puckett, Davis, and Mack have all gotten fastballs right in their zones, but they haven't been able to do anything with them.
Shane swinging through that one, and a high tight one leans him back. 2 balls and 1 strike. Stanton also had a real good strikeout to walk ratio for Atlanta. In 78 innings, he only walked 21, struck out 54. Tied at 3, last of the 8th inning. The Braves leading in the series 3-2. Here's the set by Stanton. He's going to throw to first base, and Kirby gets back. 2 balls, 1 strike to count to Shane Mack with 2 out. They play him a little bit towards right. That's more like a left-handed pull hitter. Lemke playing very deep at second base. Bream still holding with Kirby Puckett. Stanton into the set. There he goes, and the pitch is swung on and miss. Olson's throw to second base. Low, stolen base. Kirby Puckett with his first steal of the series. Got a pretty good jump as Mack swung at the outside fastball. Olson's throw in the dirt, a short hop to Blauser, the shortstop. Couldn't get the tag on Puckett, who is on second now with 2 out. And the count to Shane Mack, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Olson going out to talk to Stanton. And Pena still throwing in the Atlanta bullpen, as is Aguilar in the Twins bullpen. The Twins left 2 runners on in the first inning after they had scored twice. In the 4th inning, they had runners on second and third, only 1 out, and did not score. Kirby Puckett now leading at second. Ball 2, strike 2 to Shane Mack. Mike Stanton out of the set. The left-hander's pitch, swing and a foul back. The count rides along at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Shane Mack. Now 2 for 18 in the series. Sid Bream now playing about 25 feet off the line at first with no runner over there. He had been holding. Stanton steps off the rubber. Stanton came on to start the 7th inning, gave up a 1-out hit to Gagne, but he got Gladden on a double play ball on a 3-0 pitch. Now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Shane Mack. Puckett is leading at second. Here's the set. The left-hander Stanton kicks and throws. Fastball swung on, low fly ball to shallow left field. Coming hard for the ball is Hunter. Makes the catch on the run. It hung up long enough, and Hunter hauled it in to retire the side. No runs, 1 hit and 1 left. At the end of 8, the Braves 3, the Twins 3.
Well, one of the more interesting scenes on the field before the game, Hank Aaron, one of the vice presidents of the Atlanta Braves, the all-time home run king, 755, with a picture with the Twins' Al Newman, who has 1 major league home run. He hit it in 1986 when he was a member of the Montreal Expos. Jim Capel of the Pioneer Press Dispatch set up the photo, and after it was taken, Al Newman said to Jim, he said, "Make sure I get a copy of that one, will you please?" The all-time home run king, Hank Aaron, with the Twins' Al Newman. And here come the Braves now in the top of the 9th, 3-3 tie. And Carl Willis, who's pitched an inning and 2/3, facing 5 batters, retiring 5, facing Lemke. Herb.
First pitch is low. Lemke singled to center in the 2nd, grounded to short in the 4th, and singled to center in the 7th. 9 hits and 19 at-bats for Lemke, batting .474 in the series. And batting left-handed here against Carl Willis. Here's the windup in the pitch. A strike. 1-1. Atlanta 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. The Twins 3 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. Here's the windup by Willis. The pitch to Lemke. Swung on a pop-up. Center of the diamond. Leas calling for it near the pitching mound. He has it. Lemke pops to Leas. 1 away. Will bring up number 4, Jeff Blauser. He batted in the 7th inning for the announced pinch hitter, Tommy Gregg, who was batting for Belliard, the shortstop, and Blauser struck out against Mark Guthrie. Blauser, right-handed batter. Willis delivers. Swinging a foul back. Blauser hit .259 during the season, 11 home runs. He was the Braves' #1 pick in 1984 and first came up to the big leagues in '87. Originally drafted by the Cardinals in '84, did not sign. Signed in the secondary phase with the Braves later. Takes a strike. 0-2. Blauser 0 for 4 in the series. Willis delivers. Low and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 1 gone and nobody on in the ninth for Atlanta. We're tied at 3 here in game number 6 of the World Series. A must-win for the Twins. The windup, the pitch to Blauser. It is a fork ball low. 2-2. Jeff Blauser, native Californian. And the pitch by Willis. Swing a line drive into center, a base hit. Blauser with a 1-out single here in the ninth. Hit number 7 for Atlanta. And it'll bring up Lonnie Smith, the DH. Number 27, Lonnie Smith, who has homered in each of the last 3 games of the series. Tonight he's grounded a third, been hit by a pitch, grounded into a third to second force, and had a base on ball. So officially he's 0 for 2. In the series thus far, 4 hits and 21 at bats, and 3 of the 4 hits home runs. Lonnie Smith playing for his 4th different team in a World Series. The only player ever to do that. Swings hard and beats a foul up to the left of the plate. Boy, he wanted to yank one out there. Big swing and hit over top of the ball. 1 strike to count. Lonnie Smith, who's been in baseball since 1974. He first signed with the Phillies on the first round. Been with the Cardinals, Kansas City, came to Atlanta in '88. 0-1. Carl Willis delivers. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brian Harper now behind the plate for the Twins. Now the birthday coming up tomorrow for a longtime Twins fan, Art Lent, L-E-N-T-D. Art Lent, who'll have number 90 tomorrow. Another one of our avid Twins fans. 1-1 the count here to Lonnie Smith. Carl Willis throws to first base. Blauser gets back. Blauser had 5 steals in the regular season, but he was caught 6 times. Lonnie Smith, 35 years old, 5'9", 190, going to throw to first, safe. The Braves 3 and the Twins 3 in the 9th inning. 1 on and 1 out for Atlanta. 1-1 the count to Lonnie Smith. Terry Pendleton on deck. Carl Willis has the sign. Here's the set and the pitch. Swung on a little bouncing ball out behind second base. Gagne steps on second, throws to first. Double play. Nice play by Gagne again. A ground ball behind second. He got it. Stepped on the bag. Threw to first. A 6-3 double play. We go to the last of the ninth. The Braves 3, the Twins 3.
The wheels are turning. Alejandro Pena pitching for Atlanta. Mike Pagliarulo pinch batting for Scott Leyes. Herbeck on deck. And then Harper. 3-3 tie. Twins have to win or the Braves are the champions. And the Twins have a chance here in the bottom of the ninth.
Pagliarulo batting for Leyes takes a strike. Pags 3 for 7 in the series. 1 home run. Leyes tonight at single, bounced to third and single. Number 26, Alejandro Pena into the lineup, delivers, and Pagliarulo swings and fouls it back. Strike 2. Mike Stanton pitched 2 innings for the Braves. No runs, 2 hits, 1 strikeout. Pena, who was sensational after he was acquired by the Braves from the Mets, coming down the stretch. In fact, when he failed to protect the lead in the 3rd game in Atlanta was his first blown save in 15 chances. Pagliarulo takes a high fastball, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Quite a good job by Mike Stanton. 2 innings, 2 hits, no runs, and 1 strikeout. He really did a great job.
He's been tough every time out. Now Pena has the sign from Olson, and the pitch to Pagliarulo. Swing and a foul back. Still 1-2. With Atlanta, Pena was in 15 games, pitched 19 in the 3rd innings, allowed only 3 earned runs and 11 hits, walked 3, struck out 13. Pena checking his sign. There's the windup and the pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. High fastball to Pagliarulo. Now Kent Hrbek was bounced to first, reached on an air by the left fielder Hunter, and grounded into a 3-6-3 double play.
Can't say enough about the relief pitching here, Herb. Pena came right at Pagliarulo. He jumped ahead of him. He didn't seem to have any fear at all pitching to Pag.
Primarily a fastball pitcher. He will throw a slider, and he has a changeup. And the pitch to Hrbek. Fastball just inside. Ball 1. Aguilar in the Twins pen. Kent Merker's warming up for Atlanta. Left-hander. Pena delivers. Hrbek takes high. Ball 2. 2-0. Also right-hander Mark Wohlers warming up for Atlanta. Alejandro Pena from the Dominican Republic. 6'1", 200-pounder. Swings into the windup. Here's the 2-0 to Hrbek. Strike. Just on the inside corner. Hrbek giving a surprise look to Ed Montague. The plate umpire thought that pitch was inside. Pena came up with the Dodgers in '81. Went to the Mets after the '89 season. And the Braves got him on August 29th. Ball gets loose from the bullpen out there in right field. Ball 2 and strike 1 to Kent Hrbek with 1 out, last of the 9th. Atlanta 3, the Twins 3. Pena ready. Here's the windup and the pitch to Hrbek. Strike. Fastball over the knees, and it's 2-2. Ball 2, strike 2. And the right-hander Pena delivers. Hrbek takes it in the dirt. Full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. One out, nobody on. 3 balls, 2 strikes. They're playing deep. The outfield slightly to the right. As Pena okays Olson's sign. Here's the windup, the 3-2 delivery, and a strike 3 call. Hrbek had thrown the bat away, thought he had a walk, and he's called out by Montague, who delayed for a moment before he made the call. And Pena struck out the first 2 batters here in the 9th inning. Now Brian Harper, who batted in the 7th inning for Ortiz against lefty Mike Stanton and struck out on a low inside slider. 2 out here in the bottom of the 9th. And the windup by Pena, the pitch to Harper. Fastball over, strike 1. Relying almost exclusively on the fastball. There's the windup, the pitch to Harper. Swinging a bouncing ball, 2 hops to Blauser. The shortstop will throw it to first base, and the side is out. Short the first to play, a 1-2-3 inning. We go overtime. for the second time in the series. At the end of 9, the Braves 3, the Twins 3.
Well, this is the second overtime game. The Twins lost to the Braves 5-4 in Game 3 at Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium. Braves won that game on Jerry Willard's sacrifice fly that scored the game-winning run. So the Twins and the Braves are knotted now. 3 apiece, and Rick Aguilera is going to pitch. That was a game-winning hit by Mark Lemke in Game 3. His single scored Dave Justice from second base, and the Braves won it. Then the next night, they won 3-2 in the bottom of the 9th inning on the Willard sacrifice fly. Here in Game 6, the 9-inning totals. Twins have 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Braves 3 runs, 7 hits, 1 error. And it's Rick Aguilera pitching to Terry Pendleton to start the top half of the 10th inning. Herb?
All right, John. Terry Pendleton batting left-handed. He has single to right, hit into a force out, 3-6. Homered over the center field fence with a man on the 5th. Had an infield hit to the right side in the 7th. So Terry Pendleton tonight 3 for 4. Nine for 24 in the series. Terry Pendleton, Ron Gann, and Dave Justice to face Rick Aguilera, making his 4th appearance. Into the windup in the first pitch to Pendleton. Swung on a ground ball up the middle. A base hit for Pendleton, his 4th hit of the game. And it'll bring up Ron Gant, the right-handed batting center fielder. He has bounced to first, been robbed of an extra base hit on a great leaping catch in the 3rd by Kirby Puckett in deep left center up against the wall. Bounced to short in the 5th and beat out a possible double play ball in the 7th. A very big play because it scored the tying run. He had a ground ball to Gagne, not a real hard hit ball, and the Twins couldn't quite turn the double play as Lemke scored the tying run on the play. Had they completed the double play, it would have been the 3rd out. Gant hitting .320 in the series. And there goes Pendleton, and here's the line drive to short. Gagne hits it, and he tags Pendleton for an unassisted double play. The Braves were hitting and running. Gant, kind of a soft line drive to Gagne a few steps towards second. All he had to do was catch the ball and tag Pendleton as he got to second base. And I want to tell you, I think Pendleton had the base stolen had Gant not swung. He got a tremendous jump at first base.
Wasn't any question about it. I mean, Gagne caught the ball, and Pendleton actually touched second, and Gagne tagged him after he had touched second base. And that was a good pitch by Aguilera as a slider low and away. Gant didn't have a real good swing at it, and he just hit the liner right to Gagne at shortstop.
And the pitch by Aguilera to Dave Justice outside, ball 1. Justice has walked, grounded to first, hit into a grounded to second, and then struck out. 0 for 3. Grounded to first to second and struck out after walking in the 1st inning. The windup by Aguilera, the pitch outside, ball 2. And the pitch. Justice hits a high foul on the third base side out of play. 2 balls and 1 strike. Tied at 3 here in the top of the 10th. 2 out for Atlanta and nobody on. Ball 2, strike 1 to Justice. Here's the windup by Aguilera. The pitch. Swing and a foul ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Each team with 8 hits. The Braves have been charged with the only error, which did not figure in the score. There's the windup by Aguilera. The pitch. A high pop up the left side. Pagliarulo waiting. Makes the catch in front of the bag. The side is out. No runs. 1 hit. Nobody left. We go to the last of the 10th. The Braves 3, the Twins 3.
Hitters 9, 1, and 2. Gagne, Gladden, and Knobloch against Alejandro Pena. And a 3-3 tie in the bottom half of the 10th inning. A run for the Twins, and they extend the series to 7 games. It'll be played tomorrow night right here at the Dome. Morris against Smokes. It's still tied at 3 as we go to the home half of the 10th inning.
And Pena's first pitch to Gagne. A high fastball. Started to swing. No swing. Ball 1. Gags has grounded to third, the second, single to right center. Then turned in some nifty plays at shortstop. One ball, no strikes. Pena swings into his windup, and the pitch to Gregg. Swing and a foul back. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, the Braves in the top of the inning trying a hit and run that backfired there after Pendleton's leadoff single. Gant lined into the double play. Chances you take on a hit and run maneuver. So here's the 1-1 delivered to Gagne. A high fastball. He laid off it. 2-1. Ball 2, strike 1 to Greg Gagne. Here's Pena with a windup the pitch. Swing and a miss at a high fastball. 2-2 the count. Twins have never trailed in this game. They've led 2-0 and 3-2. Now tied at 3 here in the bottom of the 10th inning. The windup. Pena's pitch. Swing a little pop up. Lemke, the second baseman, makes the catch. 1 away. It'll bring up Dan Gladden, who has grounded a short twice, walked and hit into a 6-4-3 double play in the 7th, swinging on a 3-0 pitch in that situation. You get the ground ball to shortstop.
Pena is well rested and he's pitching like it. He's now faced 4 batters and retired all 4. But a lot of times, as both managers have their closers in the game right now, Pena for the Braves and Aguilera for the Twins, they don't like to have them pitch more than 6 or 7 outs.
Fastball outside a ball. Right now, Charlie Lebrand, who started the first game here, is warming up in the bullpen. Left-hander Charlie Lebrand. One and nothing to Dan Gladden. 1 out, nobody on. Score tied at 3 in the 10th. Here's Pena with a 1-0 delivery. Swing and a foul back. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Manager Tom Kelly said that Game 2 and Game 5 starter Kevin Tapani could also be available for tonight's game.
Braves playing Gladden maybe a step or two to the right in the outfield. As Pena kicks and throws. Fastball, foul back. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So far, Pena just sticking with a fastball. Chuck Knobloch on deck. Pena okays the sign from Greg Olson. And there's the windup and the 1-2 delivery to Dan Gladden. Swing a little tap right side. Lemke in front of it has it. Throws it to Breen for the second out. Gladden rolls out second to first. And will bring up Knobloch. To a single to right, grounded to short, fly to right, and pop to short. Game number 6, and this is a 4th cliffhanger type game we've had in the series. The Twins won the second game here 3-2. Then in Atlanta, the Braves won Game 3 5-4 in 12 innings. And they won Game 4 in the bottom of the 9th 3-2. Tied here at 3 with 2 out in the last half of the 10th inning. Chuck Knobloch, 7 hits and 21 at bats, batting .333 in this World Series. There's the windup by Pena, the pitch. Fastball a little bit high, ball 1. Twins have had only 1 walk so far tonight. Gladden getting to walk in the 5th inning off Steve Avery. One ball, no strikes. Here's the windup, and Pena's pitch to Knobloch. Fastball chopped to short on 2 hops. Blauser has it, throws it to Breen, and the side is out. Short the first to play. 3 up and 3 down at the end of 10 here at the Metrodome. The Braves 3, the Twins 3. I'll tell you about as even as you could have a ball game after 10 innings. Each team with 3 runs, 8 hits. The Braves were the only error. So we go to the 11th. Let's get over to John.
And the leadoff batter, Sid Bream, who's 0 for 3. Aguilera in his second inning of relief, and the pitch. It's a fastball low, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Bream tonight. He has hit the ball in the air and is 0 for 3. He does have a walk back in the 4th inning. Here's a line drive, and it'll reach for a base hit. It'll go to the corner. Here's Mack to play the ball. Bream holds at first base, and a good thing he did. A long single. Shane Mack playing a perfect carom in right field down in the corner. Bream had thoughts of going for 2, but he decided against it when he saw Mack play the ball. Now Keith Mitchell is announced as a pinch runner for Sid Bream. So the Atlanta Braves, for the second inning in a row, both times against Aguilera, get the leadoff batter on. And the batter is going to be Brian Hunter. Hunter is 0 for 4. He's hit the ball hard twice, but has nothing to show for it. Right-handed hitter. There goes the runner, Mitchell. The pitch is a strike. Throw to second. Got him! Oh, what a throw by Harper. To Knobloch. And Mitchell is out stealing. And that potential go-ahead run for the Braves is now in the dugout. And there's one away and one strike to count to Brian Hunter. It's the first time the Braves have been caught stealing in the series. 2-4, Harper to Knobloch. Mitchell is out. And strike one to count to Brian Hunter. What a throw by Harper. He got it there in time to Knobloch. And the pitch. Swing and a miss, and 2 strikes to count. Brian Hunter, a right-handed hitter. And Rick Aguilera, the right-handed pitcher, ready to work at 0-2. Here's the line by Aggie and the pitch. Foul back and still 0-2. Atlanta had been successful 5 times in attempted steals. But here tonight, Keith Mitchell trying to steal a base. He is thrown out. Harper to Knobloch. Now time is called, and Harper wants to talk to Rick Aguilera. 3-3 tie in the top half of the 11th inning.
And certainly a better play for the first baseman to catch that ball. I'm sure Harper could have caught it, but it's always a little bit easier when you're coming in on the ball, especially with a catcher trying to go out with all that gear on.
Here's Olson. He swings and hits a pop-up on the left side of the infield. Paliarulo coming down the line. Fair ground. He's got it. We go to the home half of the 11th inning. We go to the bottom half of the 11th inning. Tied at 3. Lee Brandt pitched 4 innings in Game 1 last Saturday here, and he gave up 7 hits, but he struck out Puckett twice, and that's who he faces to lead off the bottom of the 11th. And Kirby takes a strike, no balls at 1 strike. 0-1 the count. Lee Brandt also gave up 4 runs, including that 3-run homer to Greg Gagne. Puckett takes a pitch high, and it's a ball and a strike. 3-3 in the bottom of the 11th inning. Not one of the 55,155 has left. They are all here, and they're waiting to find out what the outcome is going to be on this one. Low and 2-1. Nothing fancy about Charlie Liebrandt. He likes to work the outside portion of the plate to the right-handed hitters. He has a good slider and a good changeup. He's to the line, and the left-hander delivers. Puckett swings and hits a blast. Deep left center, way back, it's gone! The Twins go to the 7th game. Touch 'em all, Kirby Puckett. Touch 'em all, Kirby Puckett. And the Twins have won this game 4-3 on a dramatic home run by Kirby Puckett. He's just now getting to the plate, and he touched it amidst all his teammates, and the Twins win the game. Visualize what is happening here at the Metrodome. 55,155 people are standing and cheering wildly as the Minnesota Twins have sent this 1991 World Series to a 7th and deciding game on one swing of the bat by number 34, Kirby Puckett. A dramatic home run that Herb Carneal just did clear the left center field plexiglass to give the Twins the win 4-3.
And Kirby Puckett proving what a great player he is, because he had not had a real good series up until this game. He was only 3 for 18, but tonight he knocked in 3 of the Twins' 4 runs. A first inning triple, a long fly to center in the 5th, and then the home run in the 11th inning. And boy, this crowd really eats it up, don't they? The Twins battling for all they were worth, knowing that they had no tomorrow. But now it will be Jack Morris against John Smoltz in game number 7 tomorrow. And the totals tonight in 11 innings: the Twins 4 runs, 9 hits, no errors, 5 left. The Braves 3 runs, 9 hits, 1 error, and 7 left. Aguilera, the winner, and Charlie Liebrandt, who was the loser in the first game, pitching to only 1 batter, Kirby Puckett. And on the 4th pitch, Kirby hits a home run to end the ball game. It took 3 hours, 36 minutes, and the paid attendance, 55,155. I don't believe anybody's left yet. They're all still here.
And there's no reason for us to leave either, Herb. We've got to just hold it here to let everybody join in on the excitement of the Twins winning this 6th game.